Hi guys, Luca Di Fabio here with Mundane magazine. Today we're in Spring Hill, Tennessee with Edwards Shoes. So we are in your studio right here. And this is you were telling me this is an old high school building. Tell us about that, because it's pretty nice.
This is the original Spring Hill High School.
Right.
I think it was built in the 30s, and it was actually a high school up until the early 90s.
Right.
And then it sat dormant for a while, and it was purchased by the current owner, and then at one point he decided to convert it into either studio space or retail space, and then the upstairs was going to be living space.
Right.
But currently it's all basically just retail space or studio space.
So how long have you been here? What's the story behind this? How long have you been here? How long have you been doing this? Tell us about your background a little bit.
So I originally was, I came from IT, and I actually worked for the government, and I hated being in a cubicle.
Right.
And I wanted to be creative, and my wife taught me how to sew, basically.
Oh, sweet.
And when she first taught me how to sew, I started making bow ties. And I caught the eye of a friend of mine who had been in business for a long time, or had been in business for himself and had retired. So one day he was convinced, we were having a conversation, and he was convinced that I needed to make bow ties for a living. And I explained to him that I just didn't feel like that it was a good move. So he said, well, you need to make something. If you could make anything, what would you make?
Right.
And I said, well, I'd love to be able to make shoes. And he said, well, you should make shoes. I said, well, I don't know how to make shoes, and that's a problem. And he said, I tell you what, he said, if you'll learn how to make shoes and give me a percentage of the business, I'll write you a check for what you need. And then that was how it is that I begun to make the shoes. And then I got extremely lucky. The fourth pair of shoes I'd ever made was featured in a magazine that had a really large circulation. And I went from making a couple of pairs for a couple of buddies every once in a while to about a 2-year waiting list. And then that was where it got crazy.
Because everything is customized, right? Everything is bespoke.
Correct.
Or you don't make two of anything, right?
No, for the most part we don't. Everything that we do for the most part is a one-off for each client.
What is your clientele mainly here?
In the beginning, we were primarily businessmen, probably in their 40s and above. You know, in the 70s and 80s, there was so much about quality that meant so much to a lot of people. And then through the 90s and the 2000s, I think it became more about less expensive and fast and production. And those people who are a little bit older remember what it was like to be able to, I guess, buy a pair of shoes or buy anything and have it last a long time. But now our client is getting much younger, and I think that it's an appreciation. You know, today everybody wants to be just a little bit different. You know, nobody wants to be weird or crazy, but everybody wants to stand out a little bit. And having a custom pair of shoes or having a pair of shoes that are just for you or made just for you, I guess, fits that bill. And so we've been getting a lot of younger clients as well.
Right. What's the attire that goes with it? Like, how do you, when you make a pair of shoes, what do you imagine that pair going with?
So what we try to create is a look that can work with slacks or khakis or blue jeans, so that it'll mix both, because I really want people to be able to wear my shoes on a regular basis. I want people to be able to appreciate the fact that the fit is well and that they'll last a long time. So we try to make something that's this cross that goes across the scale, so then that way they'll be able to wear them all the time. What we do is when a client comes in, the first thing that we'll do is we'll discuss design with them, whether someone wants a cap toe or a hole cut, a wingtip. Basically, they choose the design. They know the design to some extent when before they even come in. So once they come in, we'll take 6 measurements of each one of their feet, and we transfer those measurements to what's called a pedograph. And then we take a last and we make that last custom to fit their foot. Once we feel and they feel that they're comfortable with the measurements, then we pick out leather. We confirm the design, we offer a different set of heels. They can have a natural sole or a finished sole, and then once we do all that, then we begin the process, and that from that point is where it takes about a week to make a pair.
Right. I feel like this is a trend now in the fashion field, that the customization and the individualization of each piece is kind of what we are, we're experiencing at this point. Do you think this is going to last? Is this something that you're experiencing with your activity? Like, you don't make any two of anything, so it's extremely customized.
Right.
But do you enjoy that, or is it something that's going to last?
Because of the mass retail, you know, it used to be everybody had 4 seasons, and now they're swapping out seasons. Seasons every week. So what we try to do is we try to create, although ours are specifically individual and they are customized, we try to make something that lasts a long
Yeah.
time, so that way it can transfer from, if this is the day, you know, if super casual is what everybody wants now, and then 5 years from now everybody wants dressy, we try to make it so that way they can do both.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, that in order to try and fulfill, because I'm sure the market, you know, the market's always trend.
Yeah.
Everybody wants custom, and then everybody wants quick and easy, and then everybody will want cheap. And so I think that as it trends, you just have to be able to adjust with that trend
Right.
and see if you can, you know, try to meet the masses, and that's how it is that we try to do
Right.
it.
Well, speaking of that, you were telling me before you're about to launch a sneakers line.
We are.
What about that?
We are with, you know, sneakers are, it's such a deep market. There's this mass market of people that
Yeah.
just collect sneakers.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're gonna introduce a line of sneakers that's extremely small run, probably somewhere in the 250 to 500 production.
Okay.
So once that 500's gone, that design will be gone. We are gonna make everything in-house, so they will be made here. We're gonna number everyone, so everyone will have a number. We're gonna try to offer things like, if you're a big sneaker collector, and let's say that the first pair you buy is number 4 of 500, then we'll do everything that we can to make sure that if you buy another pair, you get 4 of 500 of that one.
Right.
But we're also going to do some givebacks. We just feel like that it's a good market to be in, and that's
Sure.
where we're going next.
And you were telling me you guys are partnering up with a charity to do that.
We're looking at, right now we're just kind of in the developmental stages, and we're going to offer basically 4 different givebacks. And the client, when they purchase their shoes, they'll not only be able to pick their size, but they'll be able to pick the giveback that they want us to give that pair of shoes to.
Well, Edward, thank you very much. This was a
course.
very productive encounter.
Thank you.
And I really welcome you into the Mundane family, and I look forward to a further collaboration.
Thank you. We're excited to be a part
Well,
of it.
thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next time.